Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on the Robuilder YouTube channel. Today we're hopping back into UFO Universe and we're going to talk about the MVP. If you don't know what that means, you're definitely going to want to stay tuned. Alright guys, so here in UFO Universe we had a full game done way back in the day, and then it got taken down because there was just too many bugs and no scripters to work on it. So we are now rebuilding and remaking everything, so it's just, you know, a polished game that fits to today's standards. And it got me thinking, how much of a game actually needs to be done before it can start being tested? If you don't know, testing takes quite a bit of time just to make sure things are balanced right, especially in simulators. One thing that can really kill them is if you're in the first zone for, say, 10 seconds, or you're in the first zone for 10 hours. There needs to be a certain level of grind, but also a certain level of reward to make players want to keep playing your game. So today we're going to talk about the MVP, aka the minimum viable product to releasing a game. For this one, you're in a UF and you have shops, a fusing place, and pets. And then it kind of repeats that. There's some chests, etc. Doesn't really matter. Now you also need stuff to break. In the old map, we had safes and presents. However, those meshes also look a bit outdated. In this one, we are going to have cardboard boxes, crates, presents, and safes. That is going to be 4 different meshes that will be able to be dropped within the game. And this is indeed the minimum viable product. So if we wanted to have Robo script it to where all of these spawn in instead of perfectly nice meshes, and these doors that don't really look that cool just open up, well, we definitely could. This is all you need to start testing your game. A simple base plate, simple designs. These are all made out of parts. They're not even meshes. And just very simple stuff to get your game into its testing phases. However, today we're going to kind of change up some stuff. We're definitely going to make a mesh out of the box, the crate, the present, and the safe, just so we have some really nice looking meshes. And we're going to keep those parts separated so different zones can have different colors. I'm not too sure if we're going to get to the doors or not today. I think I want to stick with a more base instead of how we had it last time, where it was more on the 3D. It's not really that nice. So I guess the first thing we have to do is hop into Blender. I feel like I haven't been in Blender for who knows how long. First thing to make is a cardboard box. Also, we're not just making these 4 meshes. We're gonna make the 4 meshes, and then we're gonna make a slightly broken version of each of them, or a slightly opened version, just so the game feels a little bit better. If you're attacking a cardboard box forever and nothing happens until it's broken, it's just not that fun. So I think what I'm going to do is grab these 3 faces, Shift D to duplicate, then I'm going to scale them up just a little bit, then S and X so it's tape just in the middle of the box. And now we'll grab these lines on the bottom and bring those up a bit so it looks like tape. We're going to make that its own selection, and then we're going to add a solidify modifier onto it. And there we go. We have a cardboard box. Very, very simple. We're going to go ahead and move that to the side, and then we're going to duplicate it, and we are going to try to make a slightly broken or slightly open one. I think we'll just kind of scale in the middle a little bit, then rotate it. This is going to give it that more broken effect or crushed effect. You don't want anything to be perfectly straight. Now, to open up the top, I guess we will get rid of the tape for now, delete the top face, and now we have sort of an open box. And once again, adding a solidify modifier. Now, all we need left are the little flaps. So I'm going to grab this face, and then just extrude along face normals. And then if we wanted to, I could go ahead, grab this, do it on the other side as well, and now we can have sort of the tape. Just like that, we will do P and selection, and now we have an open / broken box, as well as a normal one. We're also going to make this one a little bit smaller. Now I need to do this with the rest of the assets. The crate, oh my gosh, crates are so simple. Press I to inset, Alt E, E, extrude along face normals, and boom, we have a crate. Now, how do we make a crate look broken? I know one thing I can do is grab all the sides and extrude individual faces. Now we're gonna change this to individual origins and scale it down. Now we could do S and Z, so it isn't coming out of right there. And then we're gonna need to do the same here with S. And now the sides are not coming out, and it looks pretty good. Now for a broken version of this, we're gonna go ahead and duplicate it. I'm gonna join it back together, add a loop cut on every side, because at the very least, we can grab the middle and kind of do what we did with the box, kind of shrink it in. We're gonna need to change this back to bounding box. Shrink it in, rotate it a little bit, bring it up or down. We're gonna go up because I think it looks better. Make sure we shade smooth auto smooth, and then I guess we could delete the top of it. Now we'll need to add in a solidify modifier once again, and that just makes sure there's no invisible faces in Studio. However, it does look kind of bad. So we are not going to do the solidify modifier, and we're just going to fill in the top just like this and make that its own selection so we could change it to a color. Now that we have the cardboard box and the crate, we need to move on to the present, which luckily is another very easy thing to make. We're going to extrude and scale the top, 2 loop cuts here and 2 loop cuts here, grab all of these faces, and then deselect the bottom ones. Alt-E, extrude along face normals, selection, and there we go. We have a present. It might be nice to add some slight bevels on the outsides. Let's go ahead and give it a try. I don't think it overly matters either way, but I do think we're gonna keep them. Now I'm gonna try to go without doing a bow. I hate doing bows, I'm just not good at them. However, I do have an idea for the broken present. We're gonna grab all of the top, just like this. P selection, then have the top of the present something like this, and once again, that sort of bent middle. Now, last but not least is going to be a safe, which I definitely think will take the most time. I do want to stick with this sort of cube-esque style, just so everything kind of fits well together. I also want to kind of change the present a little bit, just so it is more towards a cube. We're going to just bring that down just a hair, kind of help keep things consistent. Now, on... For a little bit out of Blender, I think these all look at least decent. Let's get them into the game, get them colored, and see what the map is going to look like with at least the full gameplay loop being done. With the game, how we made it a while back ago, as you can see, it is just safes and sometimes a present. That's really not that cool and doesn't feel that great to players. So let's add in all of our new stuff by taking these very simple block models and turning them into our meshes. Alright guys, I would say the new breakables look a lot better than the old ones, and I really like how we have a somewhat destroyed version of each one as well. I think this gray needs to be quite a bit lighter. And you know what? Since the safes are going to be a bit more rare to spawn in, we might as well make the outsides gold. I think that looks pretty okay. All we have left to do is wait for Robo to wake up, and he's going to make it so all of this stuff spawns in, and so the game will be in a full playable state without having maps. Once again, guys, it's super important to start testing your game before it's 100% done. If I build out all of these maps, and then the game sucks, aka something like Selfie Simulator, that I never finished because I didn't plan it and test it, and yeah, I just built all the maps. And now look at us. We're sitting with a nice map and some nice UI and absolutely nothing with the game. Anyways, Robo's gonna get this stuff all working when he wakes up. And hopefully in the next video about this game, I'll be able to start building zones and show you guys a fully functioning game. Anyways, let's get into the questions. Question number 1 from Roblox with Xavier. Will there be traffic? It'd be kind of cool to pass some cars on the highway. Not when the game comes out. However, I do hope to have it later on. We just have to kind of balance the pros and cons of having traffic. Will it be making lower end devices lag? Will it be fun? Will you keep crashing? All this kind of stuff. We might have it on just one portion of the map. Maybe a part of the highway? Who knows? Next question from Tate Games 2806. Are you going to add a story mode to the Dream game after it comes out? I don't understand how story modes on multiplayer games work. In theory, yes, I would love to, but I genuinely just don't know how it works. I can't wrap my head around it. So if any of you guys have any comments or ways that I could do it, please let me know in the comments down below. But that is going to wrap it up for today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day.